marriage good for? Who's it serving more, men or women?
Now, men.
Because I was thinking, if we pressed a button and the marriage stats went backwards in time, i.e. more people got married and they gave birth within marriages, would that be better for men or women?
It'd be better for men.
Why?
Because being with the kids and kind of with the mum is just right now still an incredibly important way for men to feel needed, connected, involved, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Now, that might change, but right now it is pretty clear that they'll do better. And like, if you look at the impact of being married and not married on employment, earnings, health, physical and mental health, life expectancy, huge positive impacts for men, much less so for women. And of course, if you go back, if we went the other way, like you'd say, well, actually women who weren't married were in real trouble economically until recently, right? Women used to be economically dependent on men, but men were emotionally dependent on women. And I think we've really done a lot on the first half of that, and it's kind of revealing the second part, the kind of the fact that actually wifeless men, partnerless men, childless men, they don't do so well. In fact, they do terribly.
A man needs a woman, but a woman doesn't need a man, she wants a man. And let me prove that to you even Islamically. Number one, in order for you to be born into this world, you need a woman. Number two, for you as a man to continue half of your deen, you have to get married. That is literally half of your religion. That hadith is for men, not women. Number three, the population of the women are way more than men, which means that more women aren't married. So obviously Allah would have gave them the ability to be able to live without a man and without needing them. The other thing is, a man always needs a woman. He starts with needing his mother. Everyone needs their mother. That's a woman. And you need your mother more than your father because he can't give birth to you without your mother. So treat women right.
Study shows that boys need 6 times more hugs than girls.
Wow.
Because the hugs also develop our emotional aspect of who we are as human beings.
The only relationships that will last long-term successfully are as followed. When the man loves the woman way more than the woman loves the man, or when the man and women love each other equally. And the common denominator here is that the man has to be fully fucking invested. The thing is, that lopsided relationship where the woman loves the man more is going to fail because she is putting in overtime. A woman will always put in effort in the relationship to make it work, whereas man has to feel fully invested in the relationship in order to make the changes necessary, in order to communicate effectively, in order to put work into the relationship. If you're a woman watching this and you are stuck on that crusty, dusty ass man, this is your sign to take your energy back. Put it back into yourself, put it back into someone who is going to treat you like the fucking queen that you are.
Satan is doing something in this here society. Men are becoming lovers of themselves and haters of women. Men forming the Woman Haters Club like Alfalfa and the Little Rascals. And men are making excuses instead of making changes. And as men, we don't want to hold each other accountable because we want to be friends with each other. We want to be friends and we want to be men is trying to be butt buddies instead of being real with each other.
Why is it that so many men have so much hatred towards women? Mostly because they can't get them. I promise that these same women that they in the comments trashing showed them the time of day, all they would be doing is showing them love in real life. So I want y'all to be careful because this incelibate behavior that is being spread throughout social media to where instead of you embracing more of being a man, right, you're blaming the woman. And there's development traits that you can take on to become a man, and you can get down there any woman and you can get respect from any man throughout the world, but you have to learn to live at your edge. If you're not living at your edge, even men won't respect you because they know you got more and you're not giving that. They see you retiring, which is the early death while you're living.
Let's be so for real. Women do not need men. Not for protection, not for provision, not for purpose, not even for pleasure. You see, women have learned how to raise children alone, build businesses, pay bills, go back to school, heal from trauma, carry communities, and still keep going. Meanwhile, men, they're still over there panicking about being useful because what the male ego can't survive is a woman who no longer needs him. It's not just about love, it's about control, it's about relevance, and it's about power. You see, patriarchy was never about partnership. It was a system built to make sure women needed men to survive because they knew if we didn't need them, we'd never choose them in the first place. And that right there would dismantle the whole damn thing. So let's get psychological for a minute. You see, the male ego is fragile as hell. It's not built on internal worth. It's built on external validation. You see, their sense of self is often rooted in being seen as stronger, needed, wanted, desired, or chased. So when women say, I'm good without you, that's not just rejection, that's ego death. And let's not forget entitlement. You see, men have been raised to believe they are owed your body, your energy, your softness, your loyalty, just for merely existing. So when you as a woman remove your need from them, they don't just feel irrelevant, you guys. They feel robbed, like they've been denied something that they were promised. And it's patriarchy who did that. It told men, you are the provider, you are the protector, you are the prize, you lead, she follows, and that she can't survive without you. And on the flip side, it told women you're incomplete without a man. You're getting old. You better settle down. You need a husband to feel whole. But here's the gag. The entire damn system was built on misogyny, which is the deep-rooted hatred and devaluations of women's autonomy. So when women started healing, educating themselves, building wealth, raising standards, setting boundaries and saying no, and walking completely away, it wasn't just rebellion, it was revolution. You see, men need women, but women no longer need men. That truth right there is shattering every illusion patriarchy ever sold. And let's break it all the way down. You see, men need women for emotional labor, nurturing, validation, physical intimacy, legacy, image, spiritual grounding, identity, even status. And here's the twist. Most men don't even like women. They use them. They need them, but they rarely respect them because patriarchy taught them not to. It taught them that women are currency, not counterpart. So every time a woman says, I choose myself, I'd rather be single than drained, I'm not playing therapist to a grown ass man with mommy issues and a superiority complex, the male ego literally short circuits because the whole illusion that he was the prize falls apart completely. You see, you are no longer the woman they warned you to be. Desperate, dependent, quiet, grateful for crumbs. Nah, you are the woman they fear that's whole and unapologetic and self-sourced and powerful without permission. And that terrifies men whose entire identity was based on being needed. Because if you don't need him, he has to actually be worthy. And let's be honest, most of these men were never taught how to be that man. So hell no, you don't need a man, sis. You've just been taught to feel like you do, because that's the only way that patriarchy could survive. And the moment you woke up and realized your peace is yours, your power is yours, your purpose is yours, your joy is yours, and your freedom is yours, they lost their grip because men don't know how to survive in a world where women don't need them. And now that world is here. Let that burn.
Women kill me getting in these relationships and then being selfish as fuck. Thinking that it's all about them. Thinking that the man's supposed to carry the weight of the fucking outside world and then come home and carry the weight of his home and your issues and your bullshit as well. No. Stop doing that dumbass shit. That man needs you to be his fucking support and backbone, just like you need him to be your support and your backbone. That man needs to be taken care of mentally and emotionally, just like you need to be taken care of mentally and emotionally. I don't give a fuck how much a man may be like, I'm a man's man, I got this, da-da-da-da-da. Stop the fucking cap. At the end of the day, they need fucking help. They need it. And so then in return, it is our job as their fucking woman to make sure we are helping them as much as we can. To make sure that we are lightening the load as much as we can. You think this man want to work all fucking day and then come home to your bullshit? Hell no.
When guys say I don't need a woman, I just be looking at them like this. Bro, shut up. And if a woman says I don't need a man, I am better without a man, girl, I'm going to look at your ass like this. Shut up. Because for real, grow the fuck up. Y'all need each other. I need a good woman in my life. Period. And I'll be the first one to admit it. Because that is where I get to find out who I truly am. You will never find out who you truly are in isolation. I've said it once, I'll say it again, and I'll fucking say it again. There is no such thing as getting your best version of yourself in isolation. As soon as you accept that idea, you enable yourself to grow up and become who you need to become.
I'm being honest, some of these men don't want you ahead of them. Because he look bad. He supposed to be the head of the house. But you doing more in the house than him. He don't like that, man. That make him look bad. He feel bad. And he gonna be mad at you because you doing good. You doing too good. Your doing good, it's got everybody looking at me like I'm doing bad. So if I make you do bad, I'm gonna make myself look good over you. So I can look like a man in the house. Because I don't look like a man in the house. I look like a little boy in the house looking for a woman to take care of him. That's why they men be so mad. That's why they be upset with a woman that has everything on her own. Men have control by what they buy. They have control by what they give to. And if they can't control the mind the way they want it, it causes confusion. That's why they start arguments about, you can do this, you can do that. I ain't got that much. You trying to take advantage of me. Man, that's jealousy, bro. If you can't do enough, get with somebody that only got enough for you. Don't get with somebody more than you, because you always going to be thinking that they owe you something. The truth hurt.
They need women. The very fact that men need women as bad as they need them, they better be paying. They better be paying. And if they ain't paying, you ain't got no business talking to them at all. Because they come to take. They don't come to give. They come to take. And they try to make you think that you ain't the value. And they know good and goddamn well that you are.
So there's a lot of women out there who are confused as to why a man would be in a full-fledged relationship with you, commit to you, marry you, and all of that, but treat you horribly. And you don't understand why men can stay in situations that they're miserable in or they're not unhappy in or whatever. It's because they don't like you. And in most cases, men like this don't like women at all. Okay? So there's two groups of men when it comes to how men feel about women, right? There could be three in a sense where there's a neutral point, like somewhere in the middle. But I'm just going to focus on the two extremes, okay? One group of men believe that women are miraculous. They're like the things that we're able to do, the way that we can go through pregnancies and give birth, how we can multitask, the way we love and nurture people, blah, 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 blah. Some men are so fascinated by that. They're like, they revere women. They're like, wow. Now, typically, a lot of these men are gay, you know, the ones who can appreciate it. A lot of them are. But there still are a lot of straight men who revere women. They just think the world of women. They think highly of women, right? Then you have the other group that I think is over half, in my opinion, of men who absolutely are jealous of women. Absolutely jealous. Now, you might say, how can a man be jealous of a woman? Easy. Every man on the planet, whether he wants to admit this or acknowledge it or not, every man on the planet knows that he had to pass through the vaginal walls of a woman in order to even be here. So whenever you hear men say, men built the world, I'm like, and B, what's your point? Women birthed the world. You wouldn't be here building nothing if you didn't pass through the vag of a woman in order to get here. Had your mother swallowed or shunned a boar, shout out to Zumi, right? Y'all know what I'm saying. you wouldn't be here. So the woman decided. Y'all can talk about it takes a man and a woman to create life if you want to, blah, blah, blah. Who cares? At the end of the day, if that woman decides she's going to keep it or shun a bore, that's her decision at the end of the day. She's the one with the last decision. And there are a group of men who absolutely hate that is the facts. They hate that concept, right? And they're jealous of the fact that they think women go through life and they think we got it easy. So they do things to make it hard. They sit by and they love seeing us suffer. They love seeing us cry. They love when men leave them to be single mothers, and anything a woman goes through. This group of men secretly or sometimes outwardly relish in your pain. Like they're just somewhere like, oh my God, that's exactly what she get. And some of them will come out and just tell you like, ha ha ha, B, that's what you get, right? But they have their passive aggressive ways. Like they'll say stuff like, you should have chose better because you didn't choose them. Stuff like that, right? This group of men hate women. Okay. Now the reason why they can get in relationships with women is because they need women for our services and our free labor. So I think if a lot of them could find other males that would cook for them every day and clean for them and satisfy their sexual needs and do their laundry and all that stuff that women would do, if more men could find other men that would do those things and be nurturing and all that stuff, somebody that they can trauma dump on all the time, most of these men who don't like women, they would leave us alone. But the reason why they don't leave us alone is because they need women. Women need other women. Men need women. Women don't need men. We don't. If you want one, that's something different. But we don't need them. They need us. They needed us to even exist in the first place. And like I said, a lot of men hate that. Their egos, their fragile egos cannot help it. If you are in category A, the guys who revere women, I'm not talking to you. Okay. But like I said, the vast majority of men, in my opinion, fall into the second category of men who use women for your services because they can't get it from other men. So they have what they call a MILF, right? Mom, I'd like to F. That's really what men want. They want a mother, somebody that's going to do all those things for them. And they can also, fulfill their deviant, out there, outlandish sexual needs as well. That's what they want. If they could find that stuff in another man, they would. Some of them have, right? I think about like guys like Anwar, like here on TikTok. I think I'm saying his name right. The one who says he's like the fairy godfather or something like that. He's lovely, by the way. I really do like him. He's like, girl, right? He seems like he would be a good partner. Like he probably would if he found a guy that he loved. If he has one, he seems like the type that would be like, let's cook together, let's do this, I'll wash your clothes. Like, I don't know if he's that type of guy or not. I'm just saying he seems like he would be a good partner. And if it was more acceptable and these guys were comfortable with coming out and being who they are, and they can just go get all of those nurturing things that women do from other men, most of these men would leave us alone. They probably all would, actually. But that's the thing. That is how a man can be in a relationship with you, lay up with you every day, marry you and all of that, and hate your guts because they really don't want to be there. That's why I said before, a lot of women are always begging men to like come home and spend time with them because they're always with their homies or whatever. Men have emotional connections and love their homies, and they tolerate women. That's just is what it is. The answers be right in y'all's faces. And sometimes it is the fact that they're sleeping with their homeboys as well. Sometimes that's just facts. I'm not saying all of them are, but a lot of them are. And when you start I talked the other day about the women's intuition. When you start having these thoughts in your mind, please follow this stuff. Because a lot of times you're going to find years or months down the road that you were right all along. So if you start thinking he's spending too much time with these men, he don't never spend time with me, he hates you. Okay. So my theory is this: if he tolerates you, and treats you bad, he hates you. He resents the fact that he needs you for whatever he's using you for. And when he get with the next woman, and when he get with the next woman, and when he get with the next woman, it's going to be the same thing, because these men feel this way about women. They can tell themselves, oh, it was her, she was the issue. They have a track record of treating women the same way. So it's them. They don't really like women. So you can't take this personally at the end of the day, because it's really their responsibility to just be like, okay, I'm not going to use her because I don't like her like that. I'm just going to man up and just move on with my life. They're not going to do that. They're incredibly, this group of men have no integrity, not an honest bone in their bodies. They're going to use you up until they can't use you anymore. And it just is what it is. That's how they're able to do that. Most men are going to lie. If his mouth is moving, he's lying. Okay. And if he comes out and tells you the truth about what he's doing behind your back or whatever, he hates you. If he lies to you and he's doing things behind your back, he's lying to you because he doesn't like you. I ain't gonna say he hates you, but he doesn't like you, but he doesn't want to tell you the truth because you're going to stop doing whatever you're doing for him. It's really that simple. Okay. That's all I got to say about that. For those of you who were confused, that is why men can be in full-fledged, full-term marriages for 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 years with a woman and treat you badly and act like you're a burden and all that, because to him you are. He's there because he has to be there to get those needs met, because he can't find men to meet all of the needs that women would give men just naturally, what we naturally give them. Leave your comments below and I'll check you guys in the next one.
Men need women more than women need men in this day and age. And times have changed dramatically since we have needed them more. So the thing is, if someone needs you more, your value increases. We are living in the times and the generation where women are more valuable to society, to companies, to advertisement, to consumerism, to everything. And when the woman is not valued, that's why everything is going in the direction it's going, because women are not being honored and valued at their true value. And when women aren't happy, ain't nobody happy. You ever heard of the saying, happy wife, happy life? Our attention towards things and our acceptance or non-acceptance of things is what makes the world go round. Okay? So I think a lot of people are realizing this now and shifting gears back towards trying to please the woman and trying to make everyone understand the value of women. Without us, there's less motivation. Without us, you just look silly. Okay? Men need women more than women need men. And I hope that people understand that. And it's not a power struggle. It's just what is. So I think once people accept that truth and learn to value and learn to do what they got to do, there's no problems. Most people that are complaining about women are literally broke and dusty, and they stay broke and dusty. Only broke people complain about women. Okay? So that's why I'm saying y'all need to get it together and understand your value as a woman and stop allowing people to devalue who you are because society told you something that was not true. Well, today is the day to reprogram yourself to understand your value and stop taking less. Okay?
I married my wife like most people marry their wife because she was hot, she was beautiful, she was fun, she was smart, she was all those things. But it wasn't till about 10 years after we had been together when I started to think like, oh, for the first 10 years I was thinking, well, of course she has no capacity for reason. I don't
no capacity.
But then I kept noticing that she was right a lot of the time when she, and I couldn't understand it. And I started to think, oh, she's actually seeing the world from a different point of view. And that is like putting on those red and blue glasses that suddenly turn the world into three dimensions. You suddenly become one flesh, one person.
This Shannon Sharp situation is another example of why men need wives. And I'm not saying men that got wives never get in trouble, but it drastically reduces the odds of you getting into this kind of trouble. And it's because having a wife, it helps you stay focused. And it naturally forces you to think outside of yourself and think bigger than yourself. And when you're thinking like that and you have that mindset, it'll naturally keep you out of trouble. The world, society, and culture will convince men that sleeping around is cool or is good for men. But what they don't tell y'all is the risk that comes with sleeping with random women, especially if you're a man that have a lot of resources. The most important thing to a man with resources is trust. And there is no trust involved when you sleeping with women that you don't even know. And this ain't the first time we see this situation. We've seen situations like this millions of times. But if you ain't learned from the last one, learn from this situation. This man is probably about to lose millions of dollars all over sex with a random woman. Ain't no sex in the world worth that, which is why you gotta stay wise.
Weak men envy free women. And don't let it be like a woman that's spiritually free. They see that freedom as a strength. That experience you got, like the life you lived, it's not necessarily a flaw. But they say, oh, she cannot easily be controlled. She cannot be docile enough. Like, she can't be manipulated. That's how dudes really like dudes don't understand, bro. They don't understand emotional intelligence. They don't have it. They could never develop that. And even if they did, it's probably when they like 60. I'm so serious. Even then they don't have it. Like, yeah, I've been around men my entire life. Like, I'm a dude. You feel me? They think the masculine is to control, when the masculine is to protect. The masculine the masculine ain't even built to lead. If we being honest, we being honest. I can say that with no ego.
I don't care what nobody say. I think that men benefit in marriages more than women, because like men be talking about, oh, I don't want to get married because a woman gonna take half, but most of y'all don't even really have like half to take. Like, most of y'all are average. Like, y'all are not the super wealthy. Y'all are not the 1%ers. Like, y'all don't be giving chicks no lavish lifestyle. And y'all don't understand that, like, our grandmothers fell in line and did what men had to say because they needed men for survival. You know what I'm saying? Like, these chicks, our grandmothers didn't have nowhere to go if they didn't have a man. Like, nowadays, men be wanting a woman to contribute to the household financially and give them a bunch of unpaid labor. Like, y'all be wanting a woman to help with bills, and like y'all be like, oh, but it's just cooking, it's just cleaning. Who wants to be somebody free chef and maid and raise kids? Like, single women have the easiest life. All they gotta do is worry about themselves. They can eat pizza rolls every day. They could get somebody to take them on a date every day. Like, if you have a man, that is so much unpaid labor. Like, and y'all just be thinking that's what you supposed to do. Like, you pay a chef, you pay a maid, but y'all are so ungrateful to the women that y'all date. Like, they doing that for y'all for free. Like, I don't care. Men benefit more in marriages than women.
I'm sorry, but if you partake in that gender war, I don't like you. If you really genuinely feel in your heart that a man doesn't need a woman and a woman doesn't need a man, like if that weren't the case, bro, like, nothing would be invented, nothing would be made, there would be no humans. Like, bro, we literally need each other. So I really hate when people like either have platforms or they try to protest that women don't need men and men don't need women. Like, we literally do. You know, like in the Bible where it says when you marry your wife, you guys become one flesh. Like, it's true, bro. It's literally yin and yang. Like, it's like a perfect puzzle just put together. Like, we literally need each other in the world, bro. And I hate that there's this gender war going on in America that it's like we don't need each other, because we do. And we got to stop acting like we don't. And it bothers me. And if you follow me and you agree with this gender war that we don't need each other, bro, please unfollow me, bro. I don't agree, and I will never agree with that.
You know what I'm realizing in a lifetime, yeah? A man always ends up needing the woman he has hurt the most before. You understand what I try to say to you? Because guess what? You see, eventually as time goes by, that same man is going to realize that woman was the realest. That woman was the most loyal. That woman was the most patient. That woman was a one of a kind and a rare gem. You're not find them woman there anymore. You understand me I try to say to you? So you must try and run back to her, right? My grandmother did always used to say, cow no know the use of him tail until him lose it. Remember me tell you that. Like and share and give me a follow.
I think men do have to like women more in order for it to be successful. When men aren't as engaged, they will look at other places. When a man is emotionally invested, he's definitely going to put in more effort as well. It's really as simple as that.
All men need a woman to remind them of who they are, because at times we do get lost, we do get misguided, and we lean on our woman. A lot of the times with men, a woman is our inspiration. You see men turn their whole lives around. Why?
The reason why OnlyFans is a billion-dollar industry is because we have 220 million men that subscribe to the small percentage of the 3.7 million women Why is the strip club industry a $1 billion industry? Who's keeping the lights on at these strip clubs? You can talk about the lifestyle of the stripper. You can talk about the lifestyle of the dancers. But who's keeping these strip clubs afloat? Men. Why is the adult film industry, the pornography industry, a $1 billion industry? Who's giving it that much viewership, making it a $1 billion industry? Men.
I don't know how long it's going to take for men to stop eyeballing women and focusing on women to focus on their damn self. So it was one video I came across bashing women. One of the comments said, let's go on a porn strike and stop paying these whores. They don't see how the pornography is a problem for them. They don't see how if they worked on themselves and fill that void, then they wouldn't have to turn to pornography. Why is it like, you keeping them, you alone, the men is keeping them in business, the men are keeping them in business, but the men have problems within themselves. They're not keeping women in business just out the kindness of their heart. They engage in reckless behavior. They suffer and struggle internally and turn to the bullshit instead of doing inner work. And blame women for that too. Blame the same women that want better for them. But they still see every woman as they damn mama. Why they don't just go on back to their mama? Just go on back to your mama and watch porn in her basement. Leave women alone, bitch. You're gonna suffer for Satan. And you're gonna suffer. You're gonna suffer for the woman you want to manifest a life of prosperity and abundance. Suffering in the terms of working hard for what you want. Working hard to make sure your generations are good. Not in the way that these men been doing their generations. Oh, you need money for a woman. You can have as many women as you want. It's women, lust. That's what these previous fathers that instill in their sons. The more coochie you get to be, it's just all bullshit. And so now these boys done grew up into men that's a boy in a man's body. They done filled their already dark souls up with lust, perversion, pornography, women, thanks to their fathers. And for some reason, they think that they can go on like this and are not born whole. So these men that is following Satan's terms of chaos, destroy, kill, manipulate, just total destruction, because they following Satan's terms, of chaos. And so they walking around here empty because they don't want to follow God's terms of chaos, where they can fulfill themselves with personal growth and development. They can attach themselves to one woman for her to fulfill him, for her to manifest a life of prosperity and abundance, while he go out and do the works, faith and works. These men today, they following Satan's terms. And so they walking around here empty, they hurting, and so they just hurting other people. They just in a continuous cycle, and include people in their continuous cycle in their whirlwind, because they following Satan's terms of chaos. They don't want to prosper. They don't want to be abundant. They don't want to attach themselves to one woman of God to manifest a life of prosperity, but they don't want to focus on purpose. They don't want to do that. They want to follow Satan's terms of chaos. They're going to drag everybody down with them. Whoever gonna let them do it, that's who they gonna drag with. We've all been in the dark at some point in time in our life, like in the pitch black. So just imagine being in pitch black dark, how it feels. You kind of anxious, you know, right? And then you see a light. You gonna go towards the light. And then once you in the light, you gonna feel relief. You're not gonna be anxious no more. right? The pitch black is the man, okay, who's an anxious being because he's in the dark. He's the chaos. He's the darkness to our light. Okay, so they gonna latch on to the first light they come across. Okay, and then that light may bring them great relief at first. When they're not by the light, they're in the darkness. Sometimes the man may use different women for different parts of him that needs relieving. Sometimes they've been in the darkness so long, that's all they know. So instead of following the light, they attack the light because now they look at it as a threat. Because now, you're making them uncomfortable. You want me to grow and evolve? Like, you want me to be a better person? Like, what even is that? You see something in me and all I see is darkness. I'm a taker. All I know is to take. I'm here to take. You're here to give and I'm here to take. So they don't want to work on themselves. They don't want to, do the inner work. Okay. They only want relief. But they can't come to you in that manner. They got to come to you in the form of a relationship that love. But they manipulating all your self-worth, all your confidence, self-esteem, breaking you down, baby, is all transferring to them. But it's temporary, so they're going to keep having to manipulate. They're going to keep having to manipulate that energy. And you're going to keep your energy, it comes back. And once it comes back, they take it again. They help you build up your energy by, showing you affection, showing you sex. Okay. All right. And that's how they build you back up. Right. But they build you back up to take it again. And that's making you more emotionally attached to the cycle. Relief is not the fix. It's just relief. It's going to wear off. Okay? And then they just going to need more. They're going to need more of that fix. And they're going to try to stick around for that. Distract you from your light. They're going to dim it. They want your light just as dim as theirs.